Hey guys, Brent Hull Build Show out at the Ranch Project. Going to show you kind of the organization of how to put this all together, give you an update on the framing. Come join me today in the Build Show. One of the fun things, especially after I just gone on my trip into the UK, is landscapes. And one of the things that you'll see when you look at kind of these historic great houses in London and stuff like that, there are follies, which are kind of fake buildings kind of thing that offer a view. And usually those things are off in a distance. For instance, it might be up that path and you might see a little statue or a bench or some other detail. And what's happening is they've taken the land and they've organized it, kind of put it together. So we really have an opportunity with this project because this is an aerial view, and this is probably, let's just say it's 800 acres. Right now we've been coming in this back gate and the house is being built here, the existing sports court and stuff is here. And they want a secondary pavilion. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to create this sense of place so that when you enter, right? So I'm proposing that we have a new entry here that carries you down this existing road, which is really charming. But it comes down this existing road, there's a chapel on the property, and we come up here and then we enter the house. The opportunity is that you get these glimpses. So you come off this main road, and all of a sudden you enter the country, right? You enter this rural landscape. And then you are traveling down this road and then you get glimpses of the house. Oh, look, there's the house in the distance. And then you pass something, a gate or pass over a bridge or something, and there's this experience that you're creating as far as an arrival and in this point of destination that you arrive there and you're like, I'm here and I feel relaxed. And so that's the opportunity we have here. So when they want to talk about solar fields or where the generator goes, it all has to be organized. It all has to be put together so that you don't drive up and see a generator, right? You drive up and you see a beautiful house or you see some kind of great landscaping. So a great example in America is Monticello. And so Monticello, Thomas Jefferson was enamored by a lot of the things that were going on in Europe and was inspired by what he saw there. And one of those things was those formal and informal gardens and how it looks. And you'll see little areas where trees are cut and grown up so that there's a look-through point. Obviously, he's got that outbuilding there that kind of looks out over the valley. It's so pretty, but it is definitely very organized. It's symmetrical, it's laid out so that it's organized, right? And so even though it's gardens and paths and things like that, the materials are very carefully chosen. Plants are, where the gardens go, all those different kind of things. The carefree way of which it's done just makes it extra charming and extra wonderful. That's the kind of the big picture of what we're doing here, changing the point of entry, adding new pavilions. So if you look at this design, we basically, we've got this gate that picks up on kind of the modern, ranchy looking thing. And there's just a couple different ideas of what that gate can look like so that when you come off the road, as soon as you hit that entry gate, you go, okay, I know what I'm expected to see. I know what I'm about to see. Once you get on property, going away from it, I've got this kind of pavilion made where it'll be a pool house and there'll be some different things that are happening there. But you'll see as you look at kind of my sketches here that, there it is sitting in the landscape, kind of drop down a little bit. And so that I can get, this building that looks like a Texas building, looks like a, Texas Mission or something like that, so that all of a sudden this house or this property has age, it has tradition, it's been there a long time, and there was a early stables or some kind of building there, and then these other buildings were added on. There's going to be hierarchy, but there's going to be story that we're telling as we bring people through this. And so working through sketches like this and helping them kind of visualize how their house is going to look on the land is really important. So that's kind of one of the fun things to do when you're working on ranches, is to organize them. Okay, so you'll remember that last time the walls were here, those piers were in, we had a dirt floor. Now that floor is concrete all the way through there, and we've got our floor framing, floor joists in. It's probably about 7 foot high in there, so a good height for people to work and walk through there. We purposely placed this door in this wall here. It had been on the plan shown down here so that we can move mechanical equipment in and out of here really easy. So you walk down this path, it'll be framed off, all the HVAC, the water, electrical, all will be in one place. So If something happens, we really like to build these nerve centers into new houses so that it's all in one place, everybody can figure it out, and when there's a problem, you're not going up to your attic for something, you're going down to the basement for something, it's all in one place. Really pretty slick and a great way to live out here on a ranch when you're far from the city and you need things organized. Okay, so you see the framing. I'm standing on the first floor. You'll notice that some of the things we did, our mechanical contractor came in, he has painted all of the areas where the locations of the HVAC ducts are coming in. So that's really helpful because it helps the framers know where to frame around. It helps the electricians not to run things through the duct area. And so it helps kind of putting this together. We're putting our floor joists in now, second floor joist in. Those trusses are going up. The guys are putting those on. But this is the great room. You walk right off the front porch, you come into this great room, and then you look this way. We talked about that organization before of how things were laid out very carefully. Look at that plateau in the distance. Look at how beautiful that is. And this valley kind of coming together and looking right up that valley. Very purposeful, very organized, so that this is amazing. If you walk out here, we're gonna have a sunken fire pit, right? So there's going to be the seating that goes around a fire pit that'll sit right there. And in the evening, you know, sitting out here having a cocktail will be pretty magical. Looking out west, checking out this thing, having fires on cool autumn nights should be pretty wonderful. But all of this organized to kind of catch that view and us laying out the rest of the property so that it all comes together, makes sense. When you're here, it's magical. Okay guys, Ranch Part 2, got the framing going in, pretty exciting. There'll be more updates coming up. Please join me, I'm Brent Hull, thanks for watching.